Hello and welcome back to our channel. For decades, the United Kingdom has been a beacon for ambitious Africans from across the continent. The dream of moving abroad for better opportunities has often led to the bustling cities and renowned universities of the UK. From the doctors and nurses propping up the NHS to the brilliant minds shaping academia and technology, the African diaspora has become a vital thread in the fabric of British society. But what if that dream is being systematically dismantled? What if the open arms are slowly closing into a fist? Today, we're not talking about hypotheticals. We are looking at a series of deliberate, calculated policy changes by the UK government that send a chilling message, a message that suggests the UK may no longer want African migrants. We'll break down the new rules, explore the reasons behind them, and ask the crucial question: is the UK dream over for Africans? To understand the gravity of the situation, we first need to acknowledge the deep history between African nations and the UK. The people-to-people links are strong and have endured for generations. Africans have consistently been among the top groups choosing the UK to work, study, and build a life. And their contributions are immense. Think about the National Health Service. African doctors, nurses, and care workers have been instrumental in keeping it running. In the academic world, African students are known for their drive and excellence, often topping their classes and contributing to the UK's global reputation for education. This has never been just about migration. It's about a mutually beneficial relationship, or at least it used to be. But in recent years, the shift has not been subtle. With the release of a new immigration white paper, the UK government has unleashed a sweeping overhaul of its immigration system. The stated goal? To slash net migration figures, which had reached record highs. While these rules affect all non-UK nationals, they seem to hit pathways most popular with Africans with surgical precision. Let's break it down. The UK's universities have long been a top destination for African students, but the government now seems to view this route as a backdoor to work and has taken drastic steps to curtail it. One major change is that most international students can no longer bring their family members or dependents with them. This is a massive shift, especially for Africans from countries where family support is integral. Imagine being a mid-career professional wanting to pursue a degree, but being told your spouse and children can't join you. For many, that makes studying in the UK a non-starter. Another blow is the reduction of the graduate visa route, which previously allowed students to stay and work after finishing their studies. This shortens the crucial window graduates had to find a skilled job, pay off student loans, and gain valuable experience. Pressure now mounts to secure employment almost immediately, or risk having to leave the country. The government is also tightening the screws on the universities themselves. Compliance standards have been raised, meaning institutions with lower rates of student success could lose their license to sponsor international students. Fewer licensed institutions means fewer spots available, directly affecting thousands of potential applicants. On top of that, a new levy on international student tuition fees has been proposed, making education in the UK even more expensive than it already is. If the changes for students felt like a squeeze, the new rules for workers are a full-blown clampdown. Social care, a sector that has come to rely heavily on African talent, has been hit especially hard. The UK has now closed the health and care worker visa route to new overseas applicants. This was a major pathway for Africans, especially from Nigeria, Ghana, and Zimbabwe. For those already in the UK, there's a transition period. But for new applicants abroad, the door is being shut. Many who had already invested heavily in the process now find themselves in devastating limbo. For those seeking to come via the skilled worker visa in other sectors, the hurdles have been raised dramatically. The minimum salary threshold has been pushed higher and the required skill level increased. This effectively excludes many experienced professionals, people who would have qualified easily under the old rules. To make matters worse, companies now face higher costs when hiring foreign talent, making employers think twice before recruiting from overseas. Even for those who make it to the UK, the goalposts for long-term security have been pushed further away. The qualifying period for indefinite leave to remain has been doubled for most visa categories. This means migrants now face years of uncertainty, more visa renewals, higher costs, and the constant anxiety that their right to remain could be revoked. Instead of building a life, many find themselves living in prolonged probation. And it doesn't end there. English language requirements have been made tougher, not just for main applicants, but also for their adult dependents. So why is all this happening? The government has been open about its motivation: to cut net migration. Officials argue that some migrants have misused student visas, overstayed their permissions, or been exploited in certain sectors. They also claim the system had become too reliant on foreign labour, especially in care, and want to push employers to hire and train more British workers. But beyond the policy papers lies politics. With rising anti-immigration sentiment and pressure from rival parties, the government is signalling toughness to voters by tightening its borders. At the same time, British officials continue to reassure African governments of strong ties and mutual respect. Yet, for many, the actions tell a different story. How can you claim to value people while dismantling nearly every major pathway for them to come to your country? The message isn't Africans don't come. It's more subtle and perhaps more insidious. The message is, we only want a very specific, very high-earning, highly educated few. The rest of you, who have filled essential roles for years, are no longer a priority. So, let's circle back to our original question. Is the UK dream over for Africans? For many, the answer may now be yes. The path for students who aren't pursuing research, for mid-level professionals, and especially for care workers, has become incredibly narrow, if not completely blocked. The UK is making a clear statement about the kind of migrant it wants in the future: someone with a university degree, someone who can command a high salary, and someone willing to wait a decade before gaining any real sense of security. The country is becoming tougher, more expensive, and far more selective. While the door isn't completely shut, a formidable wall has been built in front of it. For countless Africans who saw the UK as their ultimate destination, the dream is fading. Many are now reconsidering their ambitions or looking to other countries for opportunities. What do you think? Are these changes fair? And if you were planning to move to the UK, has this made you change your mind? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.